As a single 28-year-old woman, I cannot stress enough the importance of making sure that you have friends in your life who are in the same chapter as you. For years, I struggled being the only single friend that I knew of, meaning all of my friends were either in serious relationships or married. And constantly being around people who were in relationships really ate away at my self-esteem. Because weekends would come, I would want to hang out with my friends and they'd always be like, sorry, I can't, I'm with my boyfriend, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But after that happens so many times, you're like, okay, something needs to change.
Oh, poor you.
You know what, I'm gonna give this broad some credit for not calling on society to completely change its views when it comes to the subject of human pair bonding, but what we have here is still a massive case of denial. Woman, the reason why you feel bad is because you know your situation is not and has never been normal. It's this little something in life that's supposed to happen that's called growing up, and you apparently missed that memo. Your friends have moved on with their lives because they have their own list of priorities, and to be blunt, you don't make their lists anymore. And to be honest, sister, even when you were on that list, you were towards the bottom. And it's not because they didn't care, it's just that their lives and issues will always take precedence over yours. And for some reason, that's a concept you can't even seem to comprehend.
I also feel like the sense of relatability gets lost between you and your friends who are in relationships for a long time when you're single for a long time. It's like, I felt like they almost didn't understand what I was going through when I did have a new guy in my life, or I was interested in someone, because they were so used to just having a committed partner there for so long. But let me tell you, when I actually started prioritizing, looking for, and making friends who were single, who were in the same stage of life as I was, everything changed for the better. Since having more single friends in my life, I have gone on so many more trips. I have gone out in general so much more. I'm having so many new experiences because I've got these single friends who don't have anyone else to worry about, so we're able to share new experiences together.
Yeah, when I look out over your sea of vacant faces, I feel like to puke.
Aw, yeah, I can tell you're just having the time of your life, sister. Your emotionless eyes and expressionless face truly tell a tale of adventure and excitement. Come on, you know the life you're living isn't normal, but you're accepting the Novocaine because you don't really have any other options. Your friends have slowly turned their backs because you seem to be presenting the same scenario. They got tired of meeting a new guy in your life only for it to not work out and for you to dump your problems on them. And don't get me wrong, friends will be there for you, but it gets exhausting when you use them as an emotional crutch over and over and over again instead of dealing with your own problems. That's something a child does, and your friends who have committed relationships have grown up, and they want to spend their time with other grown-ups, not dealing with a pity party from someone who's forgotten that she's no longer in her early 20s.
Versus when I was just friends with people in relationships, like, I didn't travel with them because they were always traveling with their partner. They were spending all their free time with their partner. And it's just such a different vibe when you are talking to someone who is single about relationships and guy problems versus someone who is married or in a relationship. I do value both people's opinions, FYI, but I'm just saying the energy is a lot different when you are single and you are also talking to a single friend who is going through the same exact thing. Also, I know someone's gonna ask, I found all of my single friends on Bumble BFF. Actually, 3 of my best friends right now I found through Bumble BFF, and through them I have met so many new people. So definitely recommend Bumble BFF, it actually works. But anyways, this is not to bash my friends who are in relationships or married. I am still very good friends with all of them. And as time...
Nobody cares what you think.
Yeah, I won't bet on you finding anyone anytime soon. You have joined the circle of single women. It's one of the most toxic, controlling, and manipulative things that you can do when you're single. It's a circle of lonely, frustrated, and bitter creatures. And if there's one thing a single woman in her 30s can't stand, it's seeing anyone who's happy or content with their lives. Just take a look at the comments section of any video of a happy housewife or a pleased husband and you'll see what I mean. And that goes double for anyone they know personally. Anytime you meet a halfway decent man, I will guarantee you your friends will turn on you so quickly that they'll have you convinced that he's a covert financial narcissist before you have a chance to make it to the store to buy yet another box of wine. Misery loves company, and even though your face and brain clearly know this, you have yet to accept that little fact. But don't worry, sweetheart, you will one day.
You know that. Of course I do, sir. Everybody knows that. Of course we do, sir.
where are all the good guys? And why are all the good guys getting in relationships with toxic women that are absolutely destroying them and then deciding they don't want relationships, which means there are no good guys out there for women who are looking for healthy relationships? I'm a psychotherapist and I hear this time and time again. And here's what you need to know about these good guys, because good guys are not the problem, and neither are the toxic women that they get in relationships with. Good guys should not change having a good heart. They should not change having a high degree of empathy and wanting to take care of a woman.
Say what now? What now?
So in other words, no matter how you slice it, the man will always be to blame for the failed relationship, eh? You know, for a psychotherapist, you really don't understand how the mind of a man works. A man can tolerate a gargantuan amount of adversity. It's a survival trait we've had for eons, but there's only so much a man can take, and if he's in a relationship with a woman who's constantly treating him like dirt, then once he's had enough, he is not going to want to risk reliving that kind of life, especially if he finds his own sense of peace. Why the hell else do you think we're all hanging out at Skeeter's place and playing the barroom trifecta tournament? That's a gauntlet of billiards, darts, and shuffleboard, followed by pizza and brotherhood. We don't need the hassle of dealing with a modern woman who's gonna try to break down our spirit just for the sake of building up her own ego.
What they need to change is setting boundaries and sticking by them, because you see, what a toxic narcissistic individual looks for is a guy who has virtually no boundaries, because then she can take full advantage of them, aka you, because for her, that is exactly what she enjoys doing. When a man has strong boundaries and he's in his masculine energy, trust me when I say toxic, narcissistic women, they can't even come close to those men, let alone be able to manipulate and
Oh, come on!
Okay, so I have a question. How are we supposed to tell the legitimately good women from the bad ones? That's like saying all you need to do to traverse a minefield is to not step on any landmines. Building up those kinds of boundaries are just going to reject all of the women, not just the toxic ones. You don't seem to understand that once a man finds peace within himself, a woman who wants to be in his life is going to ask him to sacrifice that for the mere prospect that she will take on that role. And the odds of that happening in today's society are so incredibly slim that you would have a better chance of beating Super C blindfolded on your first attempt. And once those boundaries go up, there's very little chance they're going down unless a man wants that woman to be nothing more than a bona fide bed warmer. And for some of us, the Super C challenge sounds more appealing. It's less risky and a lot less messy.
so good guys, this is for you. Don't change who you are as a person, because you are amazing. Just work on those boundaries, work on implementing them and sticking by them, and you will find yourself in a healthy relationship.
Do you please maybe help?
No way! This is your dishwashing liquid! You soak in it!
Oh, sweetheart, that is borderline offensive. This is just another way of telling men that they need to do better. You're telling men to improve themselves for women, while modern women get a hall pass to act as irresponsibly as they want without suffering any repercussions from you or society. What do you think men are doing once they escape the clutches of a modern woman? It's that kind of rhetoric that's led many of us to just stop caring altogether. What's the point? If you lose your shirt at the poker table, you don't return with your underwear to try to win everything back. That's the kind of gamble that rarely works out in your favor. So many of us have opted to provide for ourselves what modern women can't. And it seems to be working all right insofar. Modern women need men a hell of a lot more than we need you. This is the modern woman's mess. So you need to go out and do better and clean it up. If you can, that is.
Good luck.
You're over 30 and you still don't have a child. I mean, when are you planning to get married? Your biological clock is ticking. Time to pop out some babies. Don't you love when random people just come up to you and they start talking about your personal life like it's any of their concern? Imagine if you just come up to somebody and be like, how's your sex life, Margaret? No offense to any Margarets out there. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Husband still can't get it up.
Mildred! Hey, Mildred! Mildred, wait up!
Well, hello there, Mildred. Still regret not having a child, aren't you? Well, I guess you weren't capable of getting yourself a sperm donor after all, huh? Well, that's no surprise. You are a modern woman who uses TikTok to air out your blatant insecurities. I'm gonna level with you, Mildred. Random people don't walk up to you and ask why you don't have kids. That's a question that people who are close to you ask. Take your parents, for example. Your parents didn't raise you to just completely destroy your family bloodline, even though they clearly failed you considering your behavior. They want to see their legacy live on. And when they see that you have squandered your youth, beauty, and your uterus to live the life of a vain, unlikable brat, people tend to get concerned. And there's an ever-growing part of you that knows this. Otherwise, you wouldn't get offended at the question and feel the need to complain about it in your echo chamber of faceless digital cultists in exchange for validation that your life isn't one gigantic blunder of constant failures.
Can you imagine just like coming up to people and asking questions like that? They think they can ask you about your desire to reproduce. Maybe somebody's actively working on a child and they can't conceive. Ever thought about that? Probably didn't, because if you did, you wouldn't ask stupid questions like that. What about those people that want to reach their financial goals before they start supporting another human being? Because kids are not cheap. Kids are more expensive than a high maintenance woman like myself. Never feel obligated to answer these type of personal questions. You can just be like, thank you for asking, but this doesn't concern you.
Remember, your biological clock is ticking.
No, Mildred, if you had fertility issues, they're because you waited until the very end of your fertility to try to get knocked up. And financial burdens aren't an issue either, considering your tendency to brag about your luxurious lifestyle. After all, the poors breed all the time and they figure out a way to make it work. You've reached that point in your life where you're desperately still trying to deny the bitter aftertaste of the Kool-Aid that you drank all those years ago. But there's no denying what you've done, Mildred. You have no legacy, save for your TikTok channel, and let's be honest, how long do you think you have with that? You still have your makeup and filters and plastic surgery. That'll buy you like, what, 5 years at the most? And then after that, kablamo. You'll be about as relevant as Beanie Babies and fruit snacks infused with beta-carotene. So savor the flavor and enjoy it while it lasts. You have a long life of crippling loneliness to look forward to. So see you later, Mildred. We always do.
Amen.
Ladies, if you want to get whatever you want, be high maintenance, act like the bitch, look like you literally get anything you've ever wanted and like you're used to it. That is literally how girls get princess treatment and how guys chase the hell out of them. How they literally put you on a pedestal and literally, I kid you not, worship the ground that you walk on.
I don't think any of that's true.
Well, no kidding. There's a strategy that a modern woman can use to convince a man to either buy a pedestal or make one from scratch and have her stand on it in the pose of her choice, huh? Well, that just sounds uncomfortable. Why would any woman want to stand on a pedestal for hours on end? You can't really move around at all. Sure, you have the advantage of being able to see things from a higher perspective, but I don't really see the point in that. Modern women act like they're above anybody anyways, so there's not really a need for them to literally be able to look down on people. And if she's on a pedestal, she can't walk. So how are men supposed to worship the ground she walks on? And how are men supposed to literally worship this ground if she's not walking upon the ground? And are there prayers in this worshiping? Do they need to offer burnt sacrifices to said ground? I mean, if they're literally doing this, then there needs to be some kind of secular methodology so they don't run the risk of blasphemy. Details, woman! We need details!
If you're in your masculine energy right now, you don't feel comfortable receiving princess treatment, you don't feel comfortable asking people to help you, you don't feel comfortable being in your feminine energy, or you even feel guilty just for asking for things that would please you have to start doing is use the princess treatment formula. This basically teaches you how to act, how to dress, how to think and feel like you are the prize, like you are on a pedestal, you have always been chased, you've been always spoiled, you've always gotten princess treatment, and it literally teaches you how to look and feel and act like the high maintenance girly who literally is a queen, who gets whatever she wants, and people just start treating you that way because once you become that girl, and once you become that kind of girl who people can tell is the prize, who is high maintenance, who is in her feminine energy, who has always gotten princess treatment, that's exactly what they treat you like.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Wait a second, this formula also teaches a woman how to change her bloodline so it matches up with a line of familial rulers who inherit entire kingdoms and are responsible for every single political, economic, cultural, and martial aspect of their respective realm? Well, that sounds like a bum gig if you ask me. And think about it. Not only do you spend a majority of your life sitting in an oversized chair and listening to people talk about the issues facing the realm every single day, if you're a queen, that implies that the king is either dead or you never produced a male heir. Either way, that means you need to produce a male heir toot sweet. And you're also going to have to deal with a massive amount of noble suitors, all of which have their own political agendas, none of which involve love. And if you do a crappy job, you're going to be forced to quell multiple uprisings and risk losing your authority in a church-backed coup d'etat and replaced with someone from a similar, if not a distant, bloodline. What? That's literally the life of an actual queen.
But if you don't know how to do that, the formula tells you literally exactly what to say, exactly how to act, exactly what not to do and what to do, and literally helps you become obsessed with yourself, see yourself as the prize, literally see yourself as the most amazing woman in the world. Because if you don't believe that you are the best woman that he will ever have and that the best person anyone will ever have in their life, they're not gonna believe it either, okay? This literally works instantly. Like, as soon as you start using the formula, you start using the affirmations, you start doing everything it tells you to do in public, people automatically treat you differently. It's so amazing. If you want to go out with the girls and have people worship you, or if you want your man to start changing the way he treats you instantly, start giving you princess treatment, that's what you have to do.
You don't know what words mean, do you?
Man alive, is there nothing this formula can't do? Not only does it change your bloodline and creates a secular religion where men are forced to worship concrete, it also completely changes the brain chemistry of a woman who's incapable of being feminine. And it also works the very second she starts applying the practices. It also changes the brain chemistry of the significant other to turn him from a self-respecting man into a zombie-like drone who will do nothing but treat this woman to a life known only by Marcella Lannister. The next thing you're gonna tell me is that this formula will also literally conjure up food from nothingness and convince everyday people to offer her the finest of frankincense and quality footwear.
And if you guys want to grab the formula, the girlies are grabbing it in my bio right now. But if you literally don't believe me that the girlies are seeing people treat them differently instantly, day one, as soon as you start using the formula, go to the formula right now and literally read everybody's result. And between me and you, the girls who are getting the formula right now are getting the 2.0 version for free that literally has added dating strategies that tells you exactly, like with scripts, with examples, exactly how to get whatever you want, how to literally get men to buy you flowers, get them whatever you want, give you princess treatment, and how to make your current man literally worship the ground that you walk on, okay?
Stop saying that!
Well, I hope you can deliver on these promises, woman, but I suppose you can. Why else would you be using the word literally so many times that it's lost all meaning? That's the word of a broad you can trust, that's for sure. But seriously, woman, I don't see how you can make any of this work when you aren't even capable of making basic words work. We all know that you mean figuratively or metaphorically. Nobody really expects to be worshipped if you use this strategy that has no chance in hell of even working. Well, okay, I'm actually gonna take that back. This plan will definitely work, just not in the way you think. If a woman acts the way you're suggesting, people will definitely treat her differently. They will avoid her at all costs when she can't be ignored. Men won't respect her because she's disrespectful, and she will receive a prize. It's just not what you think. If she plays the game this way, then her prize is that she will literally die alone. I tell you to go read a dictionary, but we all know that you're incapable of reading. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of humor is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, maybe share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Keep on trucking and grinding away, gentlemen and gents. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.